You'll be coming back. That was unexpected. Okay, so I've got you hopefully being able to see your comments in front of me. If you do, because I've got my graphics tab just there. There we go. Let me pop it there. So let me know when you're back ready, and I will take on a bit more of a give me a wave, let me know that either okay. Just waiting so we have enough people in the room, because I don't want to have anybody miss where I'm going to go next. And I've had a quick look through your comments as well, so I can go back over that a little bit. Just move that camera a bit, it's gone a bit wonky. Hi Sarah, I can see you back. Okay, so in before the break was saying about freehand paths and how you can use them, but for most cases we encourage you to use the path tool rather than the freehand tool. It's just that little bit more controllable. So a click drag gives you a curve, and a click for a corner point. Now, to finish the curve there, rather than having to close the shape, you just click on that last point again, and that's exactly the same as what you would do in Canvas Online. So you could use this to pop a design out of the background. So I'm sure you've all seen the beautiful ribber frame that you can do with the butterflies that pop out. So what I'm going to do next, okay, is going to have the comments. I'm going to put together a bit of a design for you. So let's go for, I'm going to go for this one. Okay. It's a lovely simple little flower design. So if you want to add one of those to your mat.
Haley's watching again and Sarah do.
Okay. Hi Hayley. I said hi to Sarah, I believe, already. Totally thrown now. Okay, and I'm going to add a circle. Now the circle I'm going to resize. And then if we select both shapes and go to edit, we can use our align tools to make sure that our centre of our flower is actually in the centre. Okay. Then when you've got it lined up, what I'm going to do next is I'm going to subtract. Now what that does is that's just punched out our circle shape through our flower shape. So now when we select it, it's all one shape. Then we can go to edit, and we can go to offset. Okay, so you can click on that there. And we're going to go outwards, and we're going to untick create an offset line only around the outer edge, because our shape has a hole in it too. Okay. Now with our original line, I want to leave it as is. And our corner type, we're going to go for round. and go okay. So far so good.
You didn't change the...
No, I didn't change it to drawing line because I don't need to.
No, you don't.
So at the moment, our offset is now sitting on top of our original shape. So if we were trying to subtract that to just get that outside border, it wouldn't work. So what I will do is I'm going to take a copy over here. Hopefully with both pieces would be good. That's going to be a little swine. I'll group it for now. So it's just G to group and G again to ungroup it, and I'll ungroup my original one as well. And I want to send our offset shape behind our original shape. So to do that, you select your offset shape, go to edit, go to order and send it to the back. Okay. We can then select both shapes, edit and subtract. Oh, I do hate it when it's annoying. Deleted all of it. Come on.
Undo.
Yep, I did an undo. It's supposed to be taking that shape from that shape. I know it's going to do probably, just because. Whoa, now it's really glitching on me. How many copies? Okay, let's make sure that that is what I want it to be. So let's go. You can right click and go to properties. Let's just pop a fill in that because I just want to check. Yep, it's done it right. Okay, fair enough. I'll leave it there for now. So I've got a bit of a visual reference. So with our original shape, I'm going to go to properties and let's give it a red fill. Okay. So as you can see, our offset line hasn't actually knocked out our centre circle at this point. Now, for most cases, that will not be important. It'll only be important if you're welding it to another shape. Okay, so if you wonder why I'm going to just set that to one side, that's why. It's gone really mad. There we go. Just undo that just so I know the two are lined up. So now forward it to the back. And this one I'm going to set to, let's say, light pink. So we can cut that one from light pink. So far we have a layer that we could set to foil if we wanted to. We have a background layer and a top layer. So if I zoom out a bit, I always try and do this the wrong way in this one. So with our white shape for now, I'm going to take that out, set that to one side because I'm going to use that as a foil background. Then we need to create a leaf. So I'm going to do this nice and simply with, let's go for, there's a really funky shape down here. And I'll just put that one in so you can see it. Okay, so I'm going to turn this green for obvious reasons, it's a leaf. And to give us some detail on our leaf, I'm just going to use a little rounded rectangle. So we'll size that down, and then shift and rotate. And we can just line that. Now to get to nodes, you click your shape once so that it's selected, and again to get to your nodes. Okay, so I'm just going to zoom in a bit more just so I can show that a bit better. So once to select it, and once more to get to your nodes. Hopefully so far so good.
No questions so far.
So I want to give this a bit more detail, so I'm just going to give this leaf a little curve just by dragging this handle. And I'm going to do the same for the other side. Down here, I'm going to take this point, I'm just going to drag it up. And if you want to get a nice smooth curve, try and make sure there's always an equal distance between the node and the line this side and the node and the line this side. Okay, so just to make my leaf look a little bit more balanced, I'm just going to pull those down this way a bit. Make that one a bit bigger and that one a bit bigger still. And this is where I hope it works. And we subtract. There we go. Okay, so now when we go to offset, we're going to tick back our create an offset line only around the outside edge. And use the same distance as before. It just will make a nice echo in your design. You want to leave your original line as is and leave it to round and go okay. So as we know, our offset line is put in front, and we can change the colour of that to nice dark green, and we can send it to the back. Any questions? No? Okay. So I want to bring our flower to the front. And we can bring that one to the front. I want to just roughly align those. Okay, and finally we're going to take this one and pop it right to the back. So to make our layers lie flat over here, we're going to select both our offset shape of our flower and both leaves. Okay, then we're going to go to edit, process overlap, and we're going to go to remove overlap. And again, we'll just send that one to the So now what I'll just show you is if I move this out of the way, you can see our green layer has popped through our dark green layer and our pink layer has popped through both of them. So let's say we want all that to fit in a 6x6 area. So if I set that down there, let's bring in another square. This will serve as a guide. So if we set that to 6x6, and that's our card front. We can then bring our group up. And remember, our new shape is always at the front, so we'll send it to the back. And we can then ungroup that just so that we can go back into our line. We're going to turn our flower to a drawing line only, because we want that drawn on our card base. And because that will be the only element that we'll draw, because we're going to set other things to cut, we don't need to use layers. So everything else on here we're going to set to a cut line. And just double check. Okay. And there is an example of using it for a card front. So rename it and save it. I'm going to overwrite for this one. Okay. Any questions?
No.
No.
If you want to mention other feeds, whether you...
I'll let you do that in a minute.
That's right, you know what they are.
So one of the questions that was on the comments in the earlier video was about using the Brother type converter. I was going to show this to you, but apparently it hasn't worked on a Mac since about version 10.12. So if you have an older Mac, you'll be well away and you can use that, as well as using the offline canvas should you wish. But for any later than that, you will just have to use the offline canvas to use your own fonts. If you've used the Brother type converter, you use your SVG button to import your exported file. So with the SVG button, you can import not only SVGs but also DXFs, which are an old AutoCAD file, or an FCM file that you've made and saved either to USB stick or to your hard drive. Any questions? No.
Yeah.
Oh.
Any other bits you haven't mentioned that you were asked earlier?
I think I've done them all, because I said about doing the click and the click to get to the nodes. So hopefully you've joined along for that little project. And I'd love to see your version of it in the feed. And
So who have we got?
yeah, so
4 o'clock Pete.
4 o'clock for Pete, and 8 o'clock I think.
And 8 o'clock usually, yeah.
Then you've got Barbara at 9, I think.
Morning.
Yeah, it's an early one. I always miss the start, so I don't do mornings. Then you have Pete again at about 12:30, Lou at 12, and Leslie at about 1:30.
There's a list on Lou's, isn't there?
There is a list on Lou's group, so on the Jammers group, which I believe most of you are on.
And we're back tomorrow at 2 with envelopes.
Yep, we're back tomorrow at 2 with envelopes. So here's a challenge for you. Make a card that won't fit in a standard envelope. There you go. So don't go for a 6x6, go for something that's really unusual. It could be an unusual shape one as well. And we will do our best to get round everybody to do a custom envelope for their size of card.
Okay.
So.
Do you want to ask something about poll?
Oh yes, yes. While I have you all here, there is a poll in the group for the lap book. Now that is quite a big involved project, so that will take up most of next week. So I want to see how many of you are actually interested in that. So if you are, there's some topics that you can vote on, and I will do my best to discuss ideas for all of them. And you can also add additional options to that poll. That is absolutely fine. And then we're going to try, and I mean try, we're going to try and do 2 streams a day next week. So Ian's going to do one every day and I'm going to do one every day. So we'll see how that goes. Okay? But you have me for tomorrow at 2 with the envelopes. You have Ian at 11 on Thursday with the maintenance. You have me at 2 in the afternoon on Thursday for doing the scanning masterclass. So I will be popping up a link, a list of items that you're going to need to have to hand for that, because you're going to need things like stamped images and so forth. So I'll do you a nice long list. And then on Friday we're going for something totally different. We're going to do a mixed media piece, and I'm going to talk about how you can use Scan and Cut in mixed media work. So let me know what you think. Okay, and for now I will say goodbye and stay safe, stay in, have fun, craft lots, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.